Hey. We will wait for a while to see who joins us. You guys, this is going to be my Bujo group backdrop, the liquor cabinet. Normally in my LuLaRoe group, you see all my LuLaRoe, but we're going a different route today. So wait a minute, somebody's here. Hi, whoever you are, 'cause it's not telling me. It means I don't know who you are. So we're gonna go over. Oh, it's Erica. I know who Erica is, and Natalie's here. Oh, yay! So let's see. Hi, Natalie. I'm so excited. We've got lots to talk about, and I'm sorry if I look this way instead of this way. That's where the camera is, but that's where I want to keep looking, and I'm not sure why. And I flipped the phone, and then I just switched, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm just kind of crazy, I guess. Okay, so we're talking bullet journals. So I have 3 bullet journals. I have one that I keep. This is really, really simple. That's my weekly layout. You can't really see it, but that's what that is. I have one. You guys have all seen my social media one, so that's a big one. It's like an 8x10. And that's what the pages look like in there. I have been using a Sharpie on this one, so it bleeds through, so I've only been using one side of the page, but I actually just bought a whole bunch of new pens, so I have more colors, which is why I was using Sharpies, because I have a lot of colors of Sharpies. So I'll actually start doing where I have, you can actually see already, I'll have a day here and a day there, so, or a week there and a week there. And then I have a bullet journal for training. So this one, I'm just making sure anything I show you isn't someone's proprietary information. So, let's see. So yeah, so this, that's not even set up the way I normally do it. Where is something? Oh, here we go. Okay, so this is how I set up my, oh, that is really bad. Here, I'm gonna block the light a little bit, maybe. So this is how I set up my training. I give it a title. I have kind of things off to the side. Oh, you guys can't even see that. Let me turn my light. There we go. And I'm getting too close. So basically, this is my aha moments, and these are my action items, or my to-do list from that training. So my action items might be questions I'm asking myself. They might be things that I think I need to do based on that training, something like that. So those are my 3 bullet journals. I'm going to show you, and I'm working on transitioning this bullet journal to a bigger one so I can have a little bit more information in there. So I'm going to show you kind of how I set it up from the get-go and how I planned for that. So I'm actually going to flip you around. So hold on to your chairs. You're not going on a wild ride, I promise. So you're going to get to see my whole house and my thumb. So there's my kitchen. Welcome to my house. Oh, and do you like my My Little Pony cup? Because that's all I had clean tonight. So, hi Beth. So this is kind of, these are my supplies. So I have my Sharpies. If you are in a pinch and you need some pens, whoop, the Sharpie pens, they come in multiple colors. They don't actually bleed through, so they work pretty well. I'm using, for the most part, I just bought these ones. I'm kind of in love with them. So they're Staedtler 36 Brilliant Colors. I want to say they were like $15. And there's a ton of them. I have a whole bunch pulled out because I've been working on my Bujo tonight. I have this lovely container of washi tape because I use a lot of washi tape. And then I have these pens. These are what I use. This is what stays in my purse. So when I'm out and about, or like if I'm waiting for the kids, I can work on my bullet journal. So, and then I use a variety of different journals. The most important part to me is that it has a dotted grid. So the dotted grids look like that. They're just dots in a grid. I've used the regular grid, so that's what my training notebook is in. But it doesn't look as neat when you do a traditional bullet journal. So I prefer the grid. So I actually just got this pretty new thing saying thanks to Brenda. So we blame Brenda in here, not Tammy. And that's what I'm going to show you, kind of my initial setup and my plans. So when I knew I was going to do this, I sat down and I went, okay, what all do I want in here? So this is my list of things and the way I plan on laying it out. Basically page 1, and everyone's page 1, I'm going to turn you down just a little bit more so you can kind of see it better. Everyone's page 1 should be an index and a key, or a key and then an index, or something along those lines. The key tells you what all your annotations mean, and these are pretty standard bullet journal annotations. The square means it's something you need to do. You start it, you write a line through it, you complete it, you cross it out totally. If it's important, it's a star, urgent, exclamation point. A line is a note. This is all really actually intuitive note taking, because this is already, when I take a note in a training, I already draw a line next to it. Like, that's just what I do. Inspiration is a heart, so that would go next to like an aha moment or a quote someone said. Research, a question mark, so I want to know more. And then event is a circle, and then once I've gone, I cross it out, and then an appointment's a triangle. So that's the key. That tells you what all of those symbols mean. The index, I do mine this way. You're nodding? Okay, I figure everyone's nodding, and if someone gets lost, they'll ask for clarification. So I'm going to move it into the light better. So this is how I do my index. I use washi tape. I told you we'd use a lot of washi tape. So basically I say this bicycle washi tape leads me to my yearly calendar. So if I look in my Bujo, boom, bicycle washi tape, I can turn to it. Hey, Brenda. And there, woo, is my calendar. So this is, since I'm just switching to this one, I've only put in June. I put at the top, this is my yearly kind of forward planning calendar. So I'll do this whole layout all at once and have it, so if I sign up for a vendor event in December, I can write it on December's calendar. And then I know it's there, and when I go to do my weekly layouts for December, I can refer back to that and add that information to my weekly layouts. That's why you have this forward planning one, essentially. Washi, you're going to learn all about washi in my group. It's also a really great way to cover mistakes. So when you write a really bad J, you can cover it with washi tape. You know, done is better than perfect, Brenda. We all know you're saying. Brenda didn't see my jar of washi tape. There's my jar of washi tape, Brenda. And there's more on the way. So back to the bullet journal. I put a calendar on each one that tells me what days go with what numbers. I have a short little to-do list because sometimes you'll be sitting here in, let's say, September, and you're like, oh, in November, I need to make sure I register my car, or I go buy this thing, or there's this sale that always happens in November, or whatever it might be. I would write that down really quick, especially because I only do my weekly layouts a month at a time. And then I have events. So this is where I put birthdays. This is where I put vendor events I sign up for in advance. I did this one really quick, so there's 2 things on there. My parents' anniversary could go on there. My aunt's birthday, you know, exactly. It could be a great system for customer hostess follow-up. Like if I knew I needed to, I'm just trying, like, let's say I booked parties for July in June. I could go to July and be like, July 1st, I need to follow up with this person hosting on the 14th. And because I always follow up 2 weeks out. just in case. And I learn if I don't, guess what? By the time I do follow up with them a few days before, they're like, what? I forgot. So that's how the yearly layout is. And I do 2 months per page, so I just divide it down the middle. So I'll have 6 pages for that. Next on my index is lists. I've not transferred my lists over because I just didn't have time. I got too caught up in Facebook, basically. So I have my lists. I can flip to that little pencil thingy, and that'll take me to my pages of lists. I do have lists in another space, and I write lists of all sorts of things. So this is something you can do with just about anything. So this is my list of blog topics. This was actually done in Blogging Bootcamp, and you can tell how many I have written from that because I haven't crossed them all off. Some of them, like I did time management, I just haven't crossed it off yet. And I've done body positivity, and I've done color matching. Anyway, there you go. Washi is the index, exactly. So this one, that's a cloud. I know that if I go to the front of this book, let's see, it tells me that blog related things are under the cloud. And look, Brenda, you have your own washi tape in this book because this is my training book. And then the MISC is the cupcakes. So then I can go to, where is Brenda's washi tape? There we go. Brenda's washi tape. So there's mostly Sassy Pants. And that's how I use it. And then I also use it, so this page fell out because I draw on it a lot. So I use it to stick pages back in, and it just looks like decor. So, and that's, yeah. So yeah, that's what lists are for. Some of the other lists that I do gift ideas and a wish list. So I have 2 pages. So this one says wish list and this one says gift ideas. So this is, this is what I want, and this is what I think others might want. And then I have a list of house projects because we live in a house from 1958. So there's always a project. And then I have a list of quotes. I think this one, I put it in here and I don't think I put anything on it. That's a to-do list. There, I knew it was a green. So my quotes are empty, but I would list out quotes. Blog post ideas, I have a list of things to learn. So I want to learn how to use Photoshop. Bullet journaling was actually on a list to learn, so that's kind of fun. I think maybe I can say I've started that. So then got my lists. I haven't really gone much further than this in this book. The other thing that I do is I'll have a master task list. So you saw that in this one. And I don't even know what's on this task list because I switched to a different one. So I was using dots in this system, and then I would cross it off. These were all the Sassy Pant videos I was behind on, and then I stopped listing them because I got so far behind. Videos I needed to make, graphics I needed to make, and then I've since changed this in my social media journal to where I have a video section and a graphic section and a photograph section and things like that. So yeah, I'll have a master to-do list, and that'll have its own washi tape divider. And then I go into the months. So I don't do a monthly layout. You'll see some people in bullet journaling do monthly layouts, and I just do weekly ones. The monthly, I don't know why I don't do it. I basically between this and my weekly, I really don't need it. So I don't make one. And that's one thing that's awesome about bullet journaling is you don't have to do what everyone else says you should do. So then I would go in, each month has its own divider. So June, because it's Pride, has rainbow hearts. And I would go to that and I would see my June memories and gratitude journal. Exactly. Sometimes 1 week at a time is good enough. And I normally draw out, so like in my little book, I draw out my whole month. So there's all of June is in here. So, and I would normally draw out, I know, isn't that awesome? Pride flags. I would normally draw out my whole month of June at least. And then I can transfer everything from this master list, or the future planning is what a lot of bullet journal people call it. So I can transfer a lot from this into my weekly spreads and do it all at once. So the first page in that is always a gratitude and memories page. So I list out, I just, very similar to actually how I do this. I just title the entire page June and then like memories and gratitude. And then I just list 1 through 30 on it, or 1 through 31, however many days there happens to be. And every day my goal is to write something that I'm grateful for, and a memory of some sort. So like today I would write, I have to think back. I would write actually that I'm grateful for good friends because I had a really lovely chat with one of my friends after work today. And then I would also write a memory of doing this video. Probably that would be a memory. Or tomorrow or Thursday, a memory would be last day of the kids' school. You know, things like that, that you can look back and see these little memories. When you have a little kid, that'd be a great place to put daily quotes, because I know they say really weird things all the time. I used to teach them. So you could have a monthly list of daily quotes or something like that. And then I go in and I do my weekly layouts for June. So, or my weekly layouts for that month. And this is, I'm changing it up a little bit. I'm really hoping I drew it out. I did. So anytime before I start using a layout, I pretend layout. I practice it and I make sure that how it looks in my head is how it works on paper. So this is my new layout for my weeks. Because right now, it's actually in the front of this book, this is the way it looks, and it's all just kind of mushed together. But I wanted to do something a little different. Live notifications never get you, Francesca. I'm sorry. But it will be saved and you can watch it later. So my weekly layouts are going to change to this in this new big book. And I'm going to have one page that's basically like a schedule and a to-do for each day, because every day has something to do. I am a fan, you might notice, I put sticky notes down sometimes. This is actually someone I need to send an invoice to. And sometimes if I'm like at work, I'll put it on the sticky note, and I maybe don't have my journal with me, then I can stick it in my journal when I get home and know that that to-do is done. And then a section for notes, because notes always happen. I'm really trying hard to meal plan. It's not working out so well so far, but maybe if I write it down. So I'm going to meal plan. It'll basically be these little arrows, and then I'll write down our dinner plan for the week. My quote of the week, maybe might not always happen. And then my weekly to-do that maybe isn't specifically correlated to a day, but it's things I know that need to get done this week. So that's how that new layout's going to look. And I'll show you guys that more once I get a couple drawn in and use it a little bit. Sorry. My husband's texting me. And I squirrel really bad when I get notifications. So, and I think that's it. I think that's all my journal will have, or my bullet journal will have. Do you guys have plans for like any specific list that you want? Oh, the other thing I do right after the key, these are blank, but they're in my other one. Whoa, sorry, did not mean to jostle you. Right after the key, I actually have pages where I draw in alphabets that I can use in my bullet journal. So I've practiced drawing them in, I draw them in here, and they're a good, like if I don't know how I want to draw in my title or something, it's a good resource to go back to. And then the same, this is various labels, various little banners I've figured out how to draw. Sorry, I need a drink. So I do not use the metal stencils at all. If you go on Pinterest, there's about 10,000 videos showing you how to draw any one of these items. So yeah, you can, you know, I normally don't do big elaborate things in my bullet journal either. So one of my, let's see, I have a fairly, so like this is really early on when I was figuring out, look at that. All I do is doodle. I'm going to prop you guys up a little bit so maybe we can see the whole page. So really early when I was figuring out how I was setting up my training ones, this is one of the things I did. I doodle during trainings to pay attention because like this training was, it was something with blogging. It was a free training I found somewhere. And they were talking about purchasing themes. And I already had a theme because I went through blogging boot camp. So I didn't need to worry about themes. But I knew that there was more coming. So I kind of sat here and I doodled and I draw. And, you know, I do a lot of hearts and smiley faces. I can do light bulbs. I can do banners. So, you know, nothing crazy exciting. But really, it's something that I do to help myself pay attention during trainings. Otherwise, I totally zone out. And I don't realize, I'll get to the end of the training and be like, what? What did we talk about? There's some times, Brenda, I'll go back through and listen to Sassy Pants again. And I'll be like, I swear I took this one. Or I swear I listened to this one. Don't remember a thing about it. So that's Tammy and her squirrel tendencies. You guys can see my pretty light. We'll put you back up right. Do you guys have any questions for me? At all? Any specific things you want to see? Yeah, so it's like all new content every time I go through it. If I'm like, I'm caught up on training, I'll just go pick a random Sassy Pant video and it's all new. Can I do yours? It'd be really hard because you're awfully far away. I actually have tried to convince my children to start using them, and I told them I would do them for them, but they're teenagers. We can go for a little tour of my house. I'm gonna unplug my phone. Hold on, I'm gonna take you out of my tripod really quick. So right now they're on my kitchen counter because that was the most space. And you guys get to see the messiness that is my desk. So this is my desk right now. You can tell I had some chocolate earlier. Normally my pens are all sitting here, and then I keep my journals stacked here. And wow, my desk is messy. Got some jewelry hiding back there. You have a Sarah in this. 50% less time than anyone else because you have a toddler. Carrie, these are the leggings that you sent me. Or do you have a Sarah? What do you have a Sarah in? I'm like, what did I show? I'm like, what did I show that maybe there's a Sarah in? My tablecloth? I don't know. Yeah, it's totally there. We can turn around from my messy desk. That Sarah? It's totally the kids. My kids are self-sufficient. In fact, I love this print. It's one of my favorites. So my kids are totally self-sufficient, guys. Well, 90%. So we'll go through the tunnel of LuLaRoe. There's Anders. Meet my children. Hi, Anders. He's playing video games because it's the last week of school and I'm still trying to figure out why they have school this week. All their finals were last week, so I guess it's just a fun week. That was a fun trip through my inventory. And then Hannah, where is she? It's getting dark. Yeah, she's in bed. Hi, Stephanie. Okay, so I think that's all the bullet journal I have to talk about. Do you guys have any other specific questions for me? You don't even sit to eat, neither do I. We haven't had dinner yet, Francesca. It's 8 o'clock. That's the next thing I get to do. Is make some dinner. Which will be something. Awesome. Yay, Brenda. I'm glad it was helpful. So yeah, I have some more videos planned out. Mostly, they probably won't be lives. They're mostly just video. I have 3, Beth. So, right now it looks like I have 10, but, because I just bought a new one. So I have this one I use for social media planning, because I run a LuLaRoe business. So that's what that looks like on the inside. It's all directly related to my social media for that. Or my blog, either one. Then I have this one that has any trainings I go to on there. And then this one is becoming my weekly, kind of more standard bullet journal, that has all my scheduling and stuff in it. So yeah, so I have 3. That's what it looks like. Next to my purse, they all fit. I have a 31 crossbody thing. They all fit in there, which is awesome. But I normally don't take them all with me. The training one pretty much stays at home. So the weekly schedule almost always goes with me, and then sometimes the social media does. So yeah, that's actually like why I started, is I needed a way to organize social media. Because I would start the week out and I'd be like, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that and I'm going to do this. And then I'd get to Thursday and be like, oh, I forgot to do that and that and that. And now my group is dead and nobody's paying attention to me. And so I had to come up with a way to keep it more active. So yeah. Okay. I'm going to finish it so everyone can go back and rewatch the replay if they want to. And yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to comment. I'll keep checking in. Talk to you later. Bye.